Hi, and welcome to the Politics and Religion Podcast.
Oh, I gotta go.
5D.
I gotta go. Sorry, I'm not
You know,
doing that.
one of
You
these
just realize
days,
though, Klops, your shirt and my shirt make his shirt. Kind of.
Kind of with colors, yeah.
and to be fair, on the screen here and how all the folks are going to be seeing it, I am the sandwich in between the bread that is you
Aw.
white folk. I'm a dark meat sandwich.
It's like the best kind? That's just like the best kind.
I don't know.
Actually, I like rye bread.
I like me some. Oh, fuck off with your bullshit.
Yeah, rye bread sucks. Get out.
That's gross.
No.
Klops, you're fired.
Yeah,
What is
that's it.
wrong
Fired
with
for
you,
liking
dude?
rye bread.
Out of all
What
the
is
things
wrong with you?
we have
You
disagreed
American
on.
trash.
We have disagreed on many things.
There are many other kinds of bread that are not American that are wonderful.
Yeah.
Rye bread just sucks.
Sourdough is the best.
Sourdough's good. No,
Or- yes.
no. Rye
Dutch
bread.
crunch on a sandwich is
Dutch-
the best.
Dutch crunch only if you turn it upside down, though.
Now, are you one of those? It cuts the roof of my mouth. Fuck you. That's how it gets in your bloodstream and what makes it wonderful.
It
Same with
doesn't-
Captain Crunch.
It doesn't cut the roof of my mouth. It fucks that shit up.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
No,
That's
just-
the best
just
part.
turn. I heard.
Also, just get a tougher mouth, bro.
I heard people.
I
Like,
don't have that
hey,
problem.
Yeah, I was
What
about to
is-
say I'm not at the fucking
No.
dogs blowing sailors like you.
This is a
I don't need a
super
tougher
common
mouth.
problem, Klops. Like, anytime I tell people that I like Dutch Crunch or Captain Crunch, they're like, oh, yeah, it's great, but it cuts the roof of my mouth. It just cuts the roof of my mouth. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is wrong with your mouth
And
that food is harming it?
so no, I have the same issue. So I just look at them and I'm like, well, just flip the sandwich over, stupid. And they go, oh. I'm like, yeah, enjoy the goodness of Dutch Crunch because it's one of the best for a sub. It's one of the best breads. But yeah, no, it's just like I suffered for many years of just like getting the shit cut of the roof of my mouth, and one day I was just like, wait, I've been doing this stupid.
Well,
Said,
I
like,
guess for anybody else out there with a baby mouth, there's a life hack for you.
Yeah, really.
oh, I have another life hack for you. You take a cupcake, you rip the bottom off, put it on top. Now it's a cupcake sandwich, and then frosting doesn't get over your facial beard and shit.
My boss did this the other day, and while it's interesting, it's yet again like I'm not saying I've never gotten frosting on my face, but it's never been such a problem that I was like, I need a way to combat this.
Actually, it's because I'm a fat kid, and it's the easiest to stick the whole thing in my mouth.
See, I'm also a fat kid, and I just go like first, like the frosting in first, and then it's all good after that. Like,
I also know muffin top people be like, I like the muffin top. You can just throw away the whole bottom. Fuck the
No,
butt. It
no,
all
no.
tastes the same. It's the same muffin, you fuck.
The
I
only
think it's the
difference,
texture.
yeah, the only difference is the top is crunchy. Like, I agree with you. Eat the whole fucking thing. It's all delicious. But I do the whole. I rip the top off and I eat that first, and then I eat the bottom because it's
I-
also muffin.
I eat the top first, but because I don't like take bites of muffin, I just rip apart muffin, and the top part is the part.
Oh,
on
and
the
see,
top,
I
so
literally
that's
just
what I
take off
eat.
the little part and then I pretend it's like a UFO flying around. I don't actually do that, but I
Gorgeous.
thought it was funny. Oh man! All right, so welcome to another episode, and I used to introduce you guys. Should I start doing that again?
I don't
Sure.
know who we are.
Say hello, Klops.
Hi, I'm Klops.
That's Klops. Say hello, Bonsai.
No.
That's
You're-
Bonsai.
He refuses. And I am
Sure.
Ark. We are a 5D podcast. I know it's a little late for the intros, but it was a nice way to bring us back. Back to the
Oh.
top, everyone.
Oh.
Okay, so I haven't seen it, and I'm super behind, but we need to talk about this because everyone is raving. Well, everyone I know is raving. Stranger Things Season 3?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I'm on episode 8 or 9.
Okay.
You're close.
I'm like
It's
right at the end. It's like 9 or 10, yeah. I'm like right at the end.
So how does it measure up, first of all? Let's just get that shit out of the way.
Honestly, I think every season of Stranger Things has a really good formula to it, because it's never too, I guess, groundbreaking from each other, but it has enough difference to feel like fresher.
Okay.
With like older kind of tropes tied into it as well from like previous seasons and stuff like that. Or
Sure,
not tropes.
but if you
like
would
storyline.
if you would rate them, how would you rate them?
Honestly, I view it all as like one continuous thing. Like I don't really see a real big variation enough to be like, oh yeah, season 1 was my favorite or season 2 is my favorite. Like I enjoy all of them pretty much equally.
I don't believe you, but okay. I mean,
They're all pretty solid seasons to me.
yeah.
Though it does, because the kids are getting older, it's changing, and not even in like it's getting more mature. It's just kind of different because they're in different kinds of situations now. I don't know that I could rate the seasons, not for the same reason of Klops. I don't think they're all necessarily equal or a whole or anything. Just I don't know, something about the show. It's not fair to just give each one like best, worst. Like I couldn't do it for Game of Thrones either. I couldn't like rank the seasons in order
Well,
of any
except
sort of
everyone
greatness.
agrees that last season's the worst. Is
I
what
don't agree.
It's what I've read. I don't. I
Don't
haven't
agree
seen any
with
of them.
that.
You don't think
Well,
it's the worst?
actually, the season was the weakest, but all the people, the fuck the ending. It was fine. It was fine. Whatever. So season 3
Triggered.
it was really fun. The one thing I don't like, first season we had the Demogorgon, second season we had the Mind Flare, third season is just an extension of the Mind Flare. I don't know. Like I kind of just wanted something else.
Like,
But
what?
it's also evolved.
Sure, just the D&D side of it was really downplayed this year. And I'm like, but no, that's part of what I loved.
Yeah,
Removing one of the things I love.
but that's also part of the running theme in it
I
too.
understand it. It doesn't mean I have to like it.
And they're like what I really like about this season is how many different directions each part of the like group is going in and doing
Yeah.
simultaneously, and they're showing that timeline between all of them, like what they're doing. And I thought that was really, really neat.
And I like that the groups are broken now. It's not just because you've seen the first 2 seasons, right, Eduardo?
No, he
I've
hasn't seen
seen-
any of them.
I've seen the entire first season and half of
Oh.
the second.
So they kind of have their cliques they run in, though, right? It's like the younger kids, the middle kids, the adults. It's very blended this time in how
Yeah.
the groups end up, which is really nice to see a different dynamic and how the groups work when it's broken up.
So
like that.
to me, just from hearing you guys talking, it sounds like it's really turning into what Boy Meets World did for me, in the sense where, like, the kids are maturing, so the themes and their interactions tend to mature. They weren't
Yeah.
the same, and it's not about necessarily about the drama, but just how the characters are also played.
And interacting with each other.
Yeah. Okay. I buy this. So the one thing I will say is the reason I stopped in the middle of season 2 is that I was having a little bit of a hard time. It felt a little slow to me, right? Where in the first season, that was okay because we were getting introduced to the world. But now that we understand the world, I was like, something should be happening. But I definitely gonna go revisit it.
To me, first season seemed the slowest because, like, or at least when I restarted it over, because like I think I got to in the first season when I first did it, it was like she was already opening the wall trying to look for Will, and then revisiting that, like, and watching that didn't happen until like 4 or 5 episodes in. Like it was way further than I thought. I thought that was all part of the first episode. So like watching it the second time, it felt like season 1 was kind of slow. And it was definitely slower than I remember. The second season, I don't know if it really felt that slow, but then again, I always, with the first 2 seasons, I was piecemealing it. I was we were watching it. I was watching it with Marley, and like kind of watching it periodically. Like we'd watch like maybe 1 or 2 at night, and then she would go to sleep, and I would play video games with my friends online. So like it didn't. I didn't really get a good crunch time into it. This one, I've gotten a really good crunch time into it, and I think the pacing's pretty good with this one.
Yeah, but again, the first season I felt was okay that it was slow because you were learning this universe, you're really kind of getting into it. So I just expected the second season to be faster. But it sounds like season 3 is pretty good. I got to go back and check it out.
Season 3 is definitely fun. I'm also looking forward to like the show getting an end. I've heard some of the cast talk about how they kind of only want the show to go for another season or two, and then they kind of want to be done with it. And I feel like it's building towards that, and I feel like it should get a finite ending.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
could see that.
I mean, or you know, take the concept, switch it to a different town or whatever.
Yeah, and I'd be happy with that because how many things are going to happen in Hawkins? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, I get this season and why it's doing that, but like, I would much rather see what's happening with the other girl, number 6, and what's been happening with her.
You know, things like that or whatnot. I think
I will tell you both this though: stay during the credits. There's a mid-credit tea.
on the last episode or
Yeah.
always okay.
Will
Yeah,
Netflix
the
skip
last
that?
episode.
Because I hope Netflix doesn't skip that because it normally
I mean,
skips.
It didn't at the end of a show. It usually doesn't. But for me, it played long enough that it stayed up on my screen at least.
Okay.
Okay. So, what would you call your favorite part of this season?
Actually, I kind of got to copy one of the things I've seen a few different news outlets talking about now, but it's actually Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter
Yeah.
is in this season. Her character's great and she killed it, dude. She deserves the praise she's getting. She nailed it. Her role is super fun. This is oh god, what was her Robin Klops. She worked at the ice cream store with what's his face? Her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She nailed it. She's fucking killing it. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
she was Uma Thurman's daughter.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so she she's really just a high point.
Okay.
As far as like scenes or themes, I like how much of this took place in a mall.
That's cool, but what I really like is like the elements of that, like the whole there's a lot more kind of espionage with this one, which is really what I like about it.
Yeah, this season had a lot of that.
And in the first scene, I was watching it and I instantly knew what these guys were from watching their, like, looking at their gear that they had on. And I turned to Marley and was like, that's such and such. And she's like, what?
You are so fucking weird and particular about this, man.
But it's so good. If I can pinpoint that and see that, that is great.
You're so weird.
That's funny. I will
so
say
fucking weird,
no.
Klops.
I will say that there have been many times where Klops has pulled some random shit where it was like, yeah, that's what I liked about the movie. It's like, what about the rest of it? Oh, it was okay. And that's fine.
This one guy used the right kind of bullet in his gun.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
It does. Those things make me happy.
I know it does.
Season 2, when Samwise Gamgee goes down to the basement and he has a gun and a flashlight, he's holding them completely incorrectly. And I turned to my girlfriend and was like, that is awesome. He's not holding them the right way, which is great. Because if he would have held them the right way, I would have been slightly irritated.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
All right. So, Stranger Things season 3, check it out. I'm gonna try to check it out, the rest of it. But there's an announcement that I know's got Bonsai antsy in his pantsies, and that's Cuphead, Netflix TV show.
Woo!
So what
I'm
do we
excited, dude.
What do we know about this so far?
So it is being helmed by the creators Chad Moldenhauer and Jared Moldenhauer. I'm guessing probably no relation. But they're going to be executive producers for the show. Studio MDHR is, I think, writing it. They're executive producer. Either way, all the people involved, or all the people who needed to be involved in it, seem to be involved. I don't believe we have like an exact plot, though I would guess it's probably something related to the game. That'd be my assumption. It's a all ages comedy, and it will retain the combination of the digitally built 1930s cartoon. So it'll have that same kind of look and feel to it.
Okay. So, if I understand correctly, and I could be...
Oh,
way
here
off
we go. The main storyline of Cuphead and his brother Mugman's deal with the devil is expected to remain. The series will have the opportunity to expand the game's universe by focusing on new characters, locations, and narratives. So, but that's not confirmed. That's just, we have no reason to not assume that that's going to happen.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask. I was like, because if I understand correctly, Cuphead was kind of dark.
Not really. No darker than any of those old Fleischer cartoons, which constantly had like skeletons being pulled out of
That's
people
true.
and stuff like that.
And-
It's fairly innocent. They go, I forgot what they did, but they go and do something they weren't supposed to do, and then they have to make a deal with the devil to get out of it. And the devil's just like, okay, go collect these. Essentially, they're just bounties, but these people who've promised me their soul, go collect those souls for me, and I'll let you off.
They went to the gambling house that the devil runs, and they started gambling.
That's what it was. And then they lost their souls in a bet, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
just like old-timey cartoons. It's got some devils, got some skeletons, some wildly inappropriate racial stereotypes,
Yeah.
the use.
And I do have to wonder if they're going to add the DLC stuff, because they're adding a third character with the DLC, Miss Chalice.
Interesting. I wonder if that's season 2, if
Maybe.
it's popular.
Yeah, well, and I really don't even know if the DLC is going to have its own plot or just be extra levels, or I have no
Yeah.
idea. But I'm really excited for the show, man. I think it could be really fun. Netflix is a good home for it.
I haven't played the game. I mean,
You really got to.
I'm interested in it, but I've got so many other games to go to. I've currently right now I've literally just plugged my 3DS in again to finally play Sun and Moon, or I think Moon. I think is the one that I bought.
You have Moon.
Yeah, so fun times there. Speaking of video games and stuff, the announcement for the new Switch.
Yeah.
Anybody
yeah.
excited? Anybody excited?
I'm torn, is what I am.
What about you, Klops? I know you're a big Switch fan.
What am I looking at? What?
The new Switch that's coming out.
I already have a Switch. Why do I need another one?
Great. That's fine. But what
So
do you
that's
think?
your opinion, then, is you
Is
don't
that-
see the point. That's what he's asking.
Yeah,
What?
Okay.
I already have a Switch. Why do I need another one?
Thanks for
What's the
giving
point?
us nothing. It's not like we have
Yeah.
a podcast where we have to talk about things or anything.
I didn't look into it. I honestly,
All right.
I don't know what it's even about.
It's the Switch Lite.
Is it a different color?
It's
Three.
three different colors.
Oh,
That you can do
Oh.
if you actually the graphic that I'm showing right now has the entire Switch family. So it's got the just kind of the standard gray one, then the blue and red one, and then now they have a blue, yellow, and a standard gray. The biggest difference, just right off the bat, is it's smaller and the Joy-Cons aren't removable. So it's really more just a handheld.
But this has a fucking D-pad.
That's true. It does have a D-pad, which honestly I've never needed. But okay.
There's a few times if you use the old NES games and stuff. No, I want the goddamn D-pad.
Okay, I can see that. Why wouldn't the four buttons on the left work well?
Doesn't slide the same way.
Okay. So
Sometimes you need to roll
you
the
need the
controller to do certain things.
Pro Joy-Cons then.
I haven't used a Pro yet. I need to buy a Pro.
Yeah, I have it. I've only ever used it the one time because
But 99% of the time, I use my Switch in handheld mode, and I'm not plugging in a controller to hold something in my hand.
yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
that's fair enough. I was about to say that's the only reason I don't use my Pro controller a lot is because it's not very often plugged into the TV.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong. The Switch Lite also, and this might not really be an issue for most of us, but it can't play any games that are HD only. So like just the TV.
Yeah, apparently there are some games that can't be played in handheld mode.
Yeah.
Which
Though,
games are those?
right, like none of the games in my library have that issue. I'm wondering if it's maybe only certain modes in games, or I'm not sure. I would have to look into it, but nothing that I currently own can't be played in handheld mode, so I can't imagine it's a super long list.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Apparently. So the big lingering questions for me, is it going to be able to utilize my cloud saves?
So here's what they've said about cloud stuff. You can do online play if you pay for the Nintendo Switch Online account.
Don't care about that.
But they have, there's going to be local wireless, but they have not commented yet on whether or not cloud saves are going to be a thing for this.
So that's going to be, that's not a make or break, but that's a big selling point, because we haven't gotten to the price yet, but we'll fucking get there.
Oh yeah, we will.
One of the things I like, the battery life is actually longer on this, because the screen is smaller and it's not like charging the Joy-Cons, they're just a part of it. The battery life is apparently longer. I don't know if it's significantly longer.
Yeah, I was about to say, it would have to be significantly longer for me to even consider it, just because I play my Switch all the time in handheld. So it doesn't, I can do like the bus ride into work, the bus ride back from work, and just an evening on the couch and not have to charge the battery. So
honestly though, the smaller screen makes me go, no. I want more real estate, not less of it.
Yeah, but at what point is it too big for a handheld? Is it the screen?
Yeah. So here's where I'm at with it, though. This is why I'm kind of at a crossroads with it. I don't travel with my Switch. I fucking refuse.
I know.
I think it's an entirely too expensive piece of machinery that I enjoy too much to travel
phone
with.
costs more.
I pay my phone on installments, and actually I don't pay anything for my phone. My company pays for my phone. So, don't give a shit about that.
Laptop,
my
whatever.
phone is only $290, so I mean, my phone's still cheaper.
Also, I don't collect phones, and when this phone dies, I'm literally going to give it to someone and then go get myself a new phone. My consoles I fucking keep. I do not want anything to ever happen to this Switch because I plan on owning this Switch as long as I can possibly own this Switch. I don't travel with it. I don't do it. I don't believe in it. So when they first announced that this was a possibility, I was really, really interested in having a mobile version of my Switch, a cheaper version that I could just go run around with. My issue is, this is where we'll talk about the price a little bit, this thing's only $100 cheaper than the Switch is. At that point, honestly, with all the features that I'm not getting out of it, even my wife was like, just go buy a second fucking Switch.
Yeah.
Who cares? Go get yourself a nice special edition to keep at home, and then take this one and make this your travel Switch now.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Really what I had been I was quoted at this at work when I was talking with friends at work about it, and I think I even talked to Eduardo about it at one point. I had paid $150 for this all day. $150, half the price of the Switch for a mobile one with a smaller screen and potentially no cloud saves and a limited number of games I can play on it. Yeah, I'll pay half price for that. That sounds great. That sounds perfect. I would gladly fork over $150 for this and never think twice about it. That extra $50 is honestly such a harsh dividing point for me where I'm like, you've just crossed the line into what I'm willing to do. I can't justify this.
I'd say
drop it, honestly.
I'd say keep it at that price, but throw in a game.
Mm-hmm. And a decent game. Throw in a nice newer game, and then I would. They're doing a special edition Pokemon Sword and Shield one.
Yeah,
it's gray. It's got their names start with Z, and there's tons of consonants.
I don't know how to say it, but it's Sashian and Zamazenta, I think.
Sure,
Sakian.
So it's got them on the back of it. It's really sleek looking. It's the exact same price as the other one. It's not any more expensive for being a special edition, but it doesn't even come with a copy of the Pokemon game.
Yeah, that's what's really fucking frustrating.
I can't. That's what's killing me. I'm really hoping that maybe at like Christmas they'll do a sale. Or my wife actually did bring up, she was like, well, keep your eyes on Best Buy around. Ooh. Sorry, spider just decided to come down right in front of me.
Nice.
Fuck me.
You are a murderer and we have evidence.
It's fine. I have an agreement with them. If they don't come in my house, I won't fucking kill him. So he brought it on himself. So keep your eye on places like Best Buy or guys who are known for doing like bundle deals for them. Or like Amazon will probably do one on Cyber Monday
too, because they
GameStop
have
does
the
bundles every now
one.
and again. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep my eye out. If I can get a decent price bundle pack, maybe. Maybe, but the price has to be right on that. Really, right now, this thing's just looking like it's too expensive to be a realistic option.
Especially because here's why I think they did the pricing this way. Their 2DS XL is $150. So if they price their Switch Lite at the exact same price, like people are gonna start making that comparison of like, well, why the fuck is this other handheld, that's way less powerful, not the same? And correct me if I'm wrong, they dropped the 3DS, right?
No.
They still sell it?
Yeah.
Or is it the XL that they dropped? I thought they had dropped one of those in that line.
Not to mind. I'm not saying you're wrong. Just I have not heard of this.
Fair enough. Honestly, I have no interest. I've got no reason to buy this, especially at $200. Right at that point,
I'm telling you, man, that's the real killer.
At that point, I can just, because I already have a special edition one, I can just go get a throwaway one like on Craigslist for that much.
Yeah.
Like, and get a real one to take with me. But so I sounds like Klops, you're in the same boat. You're not really gonna.
Yeah, no. I'd just buy a secondary Switch if I want to do that, and then have the cloud save feature if I really want. Not like that matters to me really anyway.
Okay, so in June 2019, Nintendo confirmed that first-party game development had ceased, but that the system would continue to be supported through the near future. So they're going to start phasing it out, but for right now, they're still totally supporting it.
I wonder what they're gonna do next. Like, are we just talking about the Switch?
Stop doing handhelds. Yeah, you just do different models of the Switch forever now.
Yeah.
And the big rumor that I've heard is that PlayStation's looking at doing a convertible, handheld to home console thing for their next console, which honestly, I'm for. Stop using discs. Discs get disc rot. Discs are shit. And USB drives, solid state drives, all that stuff is getting more room, smaller form factor, and cheaper pricing all the time, and have less load times. We can finally go back to cartridge-based systems so easily.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just do that.
Remind me, the PS Vita, was that cartridge or was that also disc?
Vita
was cartridge.
Vita, well, they were cartridge discs, weren't they?
Well, I know the PSP was cartridge discs.
No. PSP
Oh, do you have
Vita.
one? Klops has one.
That's not in there.
I've actually never owned one of these.
I own one. I don't know what to do with it. It's these little kind of cartridges.
Oh, so they're just like the Switch ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everything should be fucking coming on these days. I'm sorry, but they just should.
Yeah. I don't.
And honestly, I'm a little disappointed, though, who's surprised that the games market does not reduce price for digital games or for cheaper flash stick games like that, because it's costing them less money to produce these, and they do not pass that saving on to the customer.
Well, and to be fair, out of all the things Nintendo does right, that's pricing is one thing that I think they've done wrong, especially for games that they've developed.
Their games are stupid expensive.
Breath of the Wild, that thing looks tiny in your big ass hands, Klops.
It is tiny in my big ass hands.
So you don't use that thing?
No.
You want to give it to me?
No.
Why not? You don't use it.
Maybe. I might sell it to you. Talk to me afterwards.
Okay.
I hate both of you. I have a very rude thing to say, but I'm keeping it to myself, and I'll say it afterwards.
Okay. You're rude all day, Chief.
But yeah, I don't know. I love my 3DS. I played the crap out of that. Like I played a Castlevania game, all kinds of shit on that thing. But now I'm like, why would I go back?
Yeah.
Like, the dual screen was never really that useful. I don't mind clicking a button to look at a map, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is other. I mean, I don't know. I really enjoyed Resident Evil on the fucking.
So what made the dual screen good for that though?
So like they changed some things around where you kind of had almost like a mini game in some instances.
Okay.
So like you would enter this room that I've entered a billion times in every Resident Evil rendition I've ever played, and um, it would switch you to first person on the touchscreen part, and you had your knife out, and you had to knife the enemies as they were coming around. And it was actually not that bad of gameplay for what
But
it
what
was.
was happening on the other screen that would
I
necessitate
think it just
this?
swapped screens, really. It was just like, map was up here now.
So again,
The best use of it was The World Ends With You, and I really don't like the other releases of that game where you only play as one character at a time. No, you've got to play The World Ends With You on a dual screen.
okay, I've never played it, but
Oh, The World Ends With You is so fun. You're literally playing one character on the touch screen, and then you're playing a whole other character with the D-pad on the top screen, and you're doing it simultaneously. You have to control both, and they don't control the same way. With the touch screen, you have like different touch or draw-based attacks, and on the top, it's just combos of left and right, and you have to attack on which side your enemies are on, but switching between them and doing certain patterns does different attacks. The game is so good. Amazing storyline, fantastic soundtrack, killer gameplay. The World Ends With You is hands down the best 3DS game.
that
I will
sounds
fucking fight to the, or I think it's actually just DS, but then they
it was
re-released it on
DS.
3DS.
okay.
Yeah.
That sounds horrifying, though.
They
I'm
also
so
just
say that.
released it on. They released it on Switch too.
I know, and I want to buy it because I love that game, but even on the Switch, you're playing one character. You're only controlling Neku. You're no longer controlling his partner.
Well, yeah, because you don't have the two screens. So
Right.
honestly, I think that's the only game I've ever heard of that effectively uses the two screens, other than for a map or quasi inventory management.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do think the Switch is the future. I don't think I'm going to buy the Lite. I've heard that they're talking about also getting a more powerful one out there, and I don't know how I feel about that. Because I don't use it on the TV that often. I don't think I need it.
Yeah, that's the other. My wife brought up, she's like, if they're just going to release the more powerful one too, just buy that for at home, and again, convert the one you have. So the Lite is just sounding really who it's an option for. If you're on a budget and you don't have a Switch yet, if you're scrimping and saving and just can't get one, this is where you go. Just
Or-
get this; it'll work just fine.
Also, I was like, if my wife wants to Switch or she wants to play Pokemon, this would be perfect for her. She can get it in a pretty color, and she doesn't, she's never gonna take the Joy-Cons off or any of that shit.
I
So-
think even my wife was like, "I'll just buy a full one."
Yeah, but I imagine your wife's gonna play a whole lot more versus just like Detective Pikachu and shit.
It's fair.
All right. Okay, so this is completely fucking random, and I don't have a graphic for this, but the headline got me, and this is great. Check out this headline. It says, I just lost it. A Spanish court judge has ruled that singer Julio Iglesias is the biological father of a 43-year-old Spanish man. So, do you know who Enrique Iglesias is? Obviously, the singer. Well, his father was a very famous singer in Latin America and in Spain and so on and so forth. I just like the idea that a judge just up and decided this 43-year-old man, he's yours now. Like it matters. I mean, there is a whole lot of background to it. It was just that headline that I thought was hilarious. So apparently, there's been this guy who's been claiming to be this famous, actor's son for years, or not actor, singer, and the singer's always been like, "Nah, he ain't mine," because it was out of wedlock, and mom claims it was at a concert in Madrid in the 70s or something, like total groupie got knocked up kind of thing. So it turns out he's gone to court. Now, my question is, you think they can get him for like back child support from 20 years ago?
Maybe, but is it
Seen wackier things.
is it like the money that they would have got then, the equivalent of what it would be now, or is it just going to be the like money that it was?
Yeah, I
then?
know.
That's
Here's $2,000.
yeah.
Kind of thing. So I just think it's funny, and I read the article, and apparently the judge cited the fact that they look a lot like each other as the reason for the ruling. I'm not digging too deep into this. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, homie looks like you. He's yours. Legal, signed, stamped, done.
I
Totally
like it. It's very quick and efficient.
Yeah, totally fucking random. Okay. Now, there's something I wanted to talk about. It is a weird, guilty, while I'm high, mostly pleasure that I've been watching. This show on Netflix. So, it's a show called Instant Hotel, and there's a couple little like stories about it. First off, it's a reality show where a bunch of people that have Airbnbs all come on and compete. So everybody gets to stay at everybody else's Airbnb, and then they rate them based on, a certain set of criteria, which is location, night's sleep, the property and the amenities, things like that. And whoever wins at the end gets a buttload of money and then budget to renovate part of their Airbnb. But it's hosted in Australia. So we've gotten to see like super opulent, almost like compound resort places and caves out in the outback. Like, it's been super fucking like, just sometimes I'm like, how do you even compete? What I also like about this is it's very kind of rife for backstabbing, because you could just rate a competitor really low because you want yours to be better, especially if you're higher on the leaderboard and the last instant hotel that they're gonna stay at. They call them instant hotels, but it's an Airbnb. But the last Airbnb they're gonna stay at is one of the ones that are the top runners. So there's a lot of backstabbing. Here is the funniest part. I have a coworker who's from Australia, and that mine that they converted into an instant hotel, I was like, hey, have you ever heard of this town called Coober Pedy? And he goes, yeah, I went there when I was a kid. I was like, is it like famous or something? He goes, no, not really. My parents just drove us around Australia when I was a kid. And I'm like, so just randomly this thing I saw on TV. He goes, yeah. I'm like, why'd you go there? He goes, I don't know. I was like, what's there? He goes, I think it was some sort of opal mines or some shit. I was like, that's that hotel. He goes, oh, I guess maybe we went to go see it. But here's the thing. First off, I know Bonsai does not like reality TV. I don't know, Klops, if you're into it.
I don't know. Not really. Not really.
Well, he likes Hell's Kitchen, and I also enjoy that. I rarely cover reality shows here, but what I thought was great about this is the people aren't. It doesn't seem like they're acting. Like, some of them are they're just like normal people bitchy, and it's very entertaining to watch because you got like people from really fancy parts of Australia. So it'd be like trying to put someone from Malibu into a house with or into a competition with someone from like Eureka here in California. They just kind of don't mix, but
right.
It's pretty entertaining. The graphic I'm showing is actually for season 2. Here's what's really weird. They added a male host, and the dude's like a Me Too movement complaint waiting to happen. He had this other show that my wife watched, and apparently anytime he's talking to any of the female contestants or any of the females, it's always innuendo. And it's really, really hilariously awkward, where I'm like, dude, that shit, you're forcing it. Like, I can take a joke, but that just feels forced. And I don't know what they added him, but I thought it was a good show. I'd probably rate it I don't know, a 7 opal mines out of 10 opal mines.
Okay.
I think, get baked, watch it on Netflix. It'll be entertaining and funny.
Firm pass.
Did you say firm pass?
Firm pass.
Why?
I would honestly just pose the exact same question back to you. Why?
Because it's entertaining. You get to see it's honestly, the travel show aspect of it is probably the most entertaining about it.
That's the only thing that, like, seeing different parts of Australia would be kind of cool, but
different parts of Australia,
I
different.
would love to just watch any other travel
Context.
show.
yeah, I was just saying, but I can watch a travel show that probably does the same thing or similar thing.
But here's what I hate about the travel show: all the bullshit. Now I can just.
This has just as much bullshit. You have to watch people
But it's-
fight about a
it's-
fucking place they're renovating.
At least it's entertaining bullshit. I'm just saying, like, it feels.
Just go watch Three Sheets instead. There you go.
That's
Done.
true. I agree. Yeah, same. Probably the same reason. You're just watching a train wreck.
Jesus fuck! How many of these little fucks are there? The third one.
I
They
like.
had babies in your room.
They did.
Luckily, I don't live in here.
I like how you just beat the shit out of the microphone. So on the recording, it's
I'm
gonna
killing
be
spiders.
like, "Wah." All right.
They just wanted to come say hi.
They did just want to come and say hi.
They wanted to be on the podcast. They're ruining our guests.
I'm killing our guests.
He's murdering our guests. All right, so before we go, and it might not be the last thing we talk about, but I want to make sure we got to it today. So, I don't even know if we can really call him wildly famous, but a really cool actor that I always enjoyed whatever he was in passed away today, and I just kind of wanted to bring it up.
Well, not by the time this posts, it's not today.
Yeah, it was July 9th. Did he pass?
Past July 10th, I believe.
It says 9th.
Did he like die at midnight?
Look
Anyways.
look at the post. It's 9.
Okay. I don't know what to
Yeah,
say.
July 9th. Even Wikipedia says July 9th.
That's weird.
Ah,
What? I'm not sorry.
So this is a time works, really.
anyway,
Yes, Rip Torn.
you might know him from Men in Black, or Freddy Got Fingered,
Dodgeball.
or Dodgeball.
Probably Dodgeball is the one that
Yeah.
folks are gonna know him, but he's been in a bunch of things. He did a bunch of voice acting for movies and video games. Apparently, he was the voice for Zeus in the Hercules Disney animated movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until today. To be fair, I always kind of confused him with the guy who played Christopher Titus's dad on the show.
Stacy Keach.
Yeah, they have the same kind of face and they yell a lot, so I used to confuse them. But yeah, no, I enjoyed his stuff, man. He was good, and anytime he was on screen, I thought he was great. Although they say he was on 30 Rock, but I don't remember him on 30 Rock. I know you were a big 30 Rock fan.
Yeah, he played. Oh God, what was his name?
The character's-
It was Alec Baldwin's mentor.
Oh, okay, so the name of the character was Don Geese or Geis?
Geis.
Yeah, but like he was in God of War. He did a couple other video games too, where
His
he
daughter in
did
30 Rock
voices.
was like the 40-year-old lady who kept putting Hot Wheels in her mouth.
That's-
That show was so good.
I've tried. I can't. I tried.
You can't because you don't like one performer in the show.
There's a couple of them that annoy me. There's one that you really like. I forget his name, but the Page.
Oh, Jack McBrayer.
I can't
Briar
stand
McBrayer?
him. I can't stand that character. Although he played a very similar character in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That movie's fantastic.
That movie is fantastic, but his character was not one I enjoyed. But yeah, Rick Thorne, man, pretty sad.
Rip
Dude.
Rip Thorn.
Rip Thorne.
Rip Torn,
Rip Torn. God damn it! I
not
this
Rick
whole-
Thorne.
I
this
said
whole-
Rip Torn.
Yeah, it's Torn. No,
Yeah.
he was
That was
talking to
my
me.
Eduardo.
I'm terrible with names. Everybody knows this. I'm not sorry. Bye. No. But yeah. Sad time. I'm sad now.
You want to do like a
Makes me
moment of shutting the fuck
sad.
up?
And-
No, I mean, I don't think he would have liked that. He was loud. But yeah, you know what we haven't done in a while, and I pretty much abandoned it, is FML.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
I know
yeah.
you both did. I'm winning.
You're winning by default.
You're welcome.
Did any of you guys watch Toy Story 4? 3?
Nope.
Nope.
3. Is it 3? Is it 4? I forget.
Four.
Okay. Nobody?
Nope.
Okay, well, I guess.
But it's already cleared for 5, so.
Oh, Jesus. Apparently, it made a lot of money.
Yeah, people are saying it's actually really good. I guess Keanu Reeves is great in it.
Apparently, he's great in everything now. It's so weird because people look back at some of his performances and they question them, like The Matrix. They're like, oh, he wasn't that great, but he's back.
Yep.
Um,
Keanu!
They just started filming the next Bill and Ted too.
I know. I'm really excited.
I don't know how I feel
Fun.
because I saw some of the pictures of him back in that outfit, and I'm just like, I just can't get over the fact that he's gonna pull out a gun and shoot the other guy just for being an asshole.
That'd be great. I'd be into that.
It's more your style.
Like fucking being that character, like also being John Wick. Yeah, I'm in.
Oh,
I
nice.
just really like Bill and Ted.
I actually have gone back and have seen at least the first movie.
The second one's better.
Is
I
it?
actually prefer Bogus
Bogus?
Journey to Excellent Adventure.
Interesting.
Is
And I
Bogus
always
Journey
hear the
one
opposite.
where they get like the different like rooms where it, like has the bunny in it and stuff like.
Yeah. So they go to hell.
Yeah, that was fun.
I just like the Grim Reaper. And apparently that guy wrote his little song at the end of Bill and Ted. You may be a king or a lowly street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper. Get down with your bad self. That was all him.
You know what's funny? That actor was actually in the TV show Roswell that I always talk about. He was the sheriff. I knew him from that way before I knew him from Bill and Ted. So that's one of those where I really kind of missed his one of his better roles and was like, yeah, I like that actor.
Well, that's like me with Michael Keaton as Batman. I saw him in what was it? Not Idiosyncrasy. It's the other one where he like clones himself.
Duplicity?
Duplicity. Yeah.
Multiplicity. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him in that first before I saw him in the Batman movies, and it was really hard for me to watch him as a Batman.
I like pizza, Steve.
Yeah, I like pizza.
I got a wallet.
Yeah,
Guy gave it to me.
That's funny.
I love that movie.
Actually, I saw, was it Johnny Dangerously?
Oh, Johnny Dangerously's so good.
It is, but I saw it as a kid and I was utterly confused.
I love the part where he's just sitting there with puppies and he's hitting them with the old school price gun, putting scan labels on the puppies. Oh, Johnny Dangerously's so good.
You know what? For a while, I didn't think that Keaton could do a serious role because I'd only see him in comedy, except for like Batman. But you know, it was Batman. It's different.
Yeah, but he's still being like a serious role in that one.
In Batman, yeah, but it was Batman. It was a superhero movie. But like Beetlejuice and Johnny Dangerously and a bunch of these other ones, like I couldn't take him seriously. And then he did a bunch of serious roles that were really like legit. And then he went right back. What was it? The Other Guys? Dude, his comedic timing in that movie. Like, say what you want about Will Ferrell, which I really dislike. In most
Will
things.
Ferrell's not funny.
Yeah.
I like Will Ferrell.
I dislike him in most things. But he was great in that. Not Will Ferrell, but Keaton was great, and so was what's his name? Mark Wahlberg. Surprisingly, Wahlberg has really good comedic timing too.
He really does.
It blew me away. I did not expect it. There's a few actors like that where I'm just like, where did this come from? I was expecting none of this. Like the shit, was it 21 Jump Street? I'm blanking on the names, but the main cast, I was super surprised. I actually like Jonah Hill in that, and I'm not generally a fan of Jonah Hill.
I like Jonah Hill.
I don't mind him in most things.
Did you see Maniac on Netflix?
I have not.
No.
Was he
It's
good?
really good. Yeah.
And he was playing a serious role, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
I
I
like that one.
definitely want to see that. But all right, and actually that brings us right up to the time or so. This episode is going to go up, I believe, before Comic-Con, yes?
No.
No, it'll be
so-
the Monday that you guys come back from Comic-Con.
Correct.
Woo! Exciting. Check us out Monday nights, live at 7 to 8 Pacific. And any last words, Klops?
YouTubes.
Okay. Bonsai, last words.
The YouTubes.
Okay. Bye.
See ya.
I like ending with disappointment.
Yeah, that's what your wife says.
As long as she likes it.